Hi, I'm Mr. C, the teacher, and this is my classroom. Over the years, I've created hundreds of lessons in every subject area. So grab your tools for school and join in with us. Or sit back and just watch. And let's go on a learning journey together. Because you're watching Lessons from the Classroom. Well, let's take a look at what the topic for today's episode is going to be about. In this episode, we're going to talk about health, your health, and we're going to look briefly at different parts of what help you stay healthy. Things like on this poster here, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, taking a bath or a shower, right? Getting some exercise, eating healthy, relaxing, getting rid of your stress, and getting a good night's sleep. They're all things that contribute to you staying healthy.
Worksheet lessons.
So here we have a worksheet called Healthy Me as part of our Health and Germs theme unit. If we take a look at the pictures, they show lots of different ways to stay healthy. Brush your teeth after every meal. Eat healthful foods. Get enough sleep. Exercise or be active every day. Wash your hands. There's lots of other things we could add to that. Take a bath or a shower every day. Make sure you laugh lots. Wear a mask if it's, you've got a cold or a flu. Lots of different things. So we've got some dotted writing to help us out here. Let's take a look at writing a few different things on how to stay healthy. First one says, wash my hands. So we'll go over the dotted writing. Wash my hands. And that's very important because we get germs on our hands, and then our hands tend to touch our face, our eyes, our mouth. Of course, our hands touch our food, which then goes into our belly. So easy to get germs inside your body if you don't wash your hands. The next one says, laugh lots. So laugh lots. There's actually a lot of science that says people who are happy, people that laugh a lot, tend to stay healthier. So laugh a lot. On the next line, we have the sentence, brush my teeth. So just like washing your hands, it's important that you also brush your teeth to kill off any germs and bacteria that's in your mouth. Helps prevent cavities, but also helps prevent you getting sick as well. There we go, brush my teeth. The next one says, get exercise. Get exercise. And as a kid, you do lots of running around and playing on the playground, running around in the park. But lots of exercise. Other people will go to the gym, or skip rope, or they'll play a sport like soccer or baseball or hockey. Or they'll do lots of stretching, yoga, all those sorts of things. Okay, on the bottom line, this next one says, eat healthy. Eat healthy. We all like sweets, but it's important that we eat lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, drink lots of water, eat healthy. And the last one we have is sleep well. We know scientists say that we have to get a certain amount of sleep every night, and it should be a good night's rest. Some people say about 8 hours is a good amount of sleep each night, and some kids will need more than 8 hours. Sleep well. So there we go. We've got wash my hands, laugh lots, brush my teeth, get exercise, eat healthy, and sleep well. Last thing we could do is add some color to our pictures. All right, it's time in our episode for this segment that I like to call the Did You Know Fun Facts.
Did you know?
Here's some interesting facts that you should know about germs. Germs are super tiny. You can only see them with a microscope. And they live around us all the time in all places. The air, the water, the ground, and on all surfaces. Not all germs or bacteria are harmful. In fact, some are important to have inside our body to help us digest our food and get the nutrients out of our food that we need. But some germs, of course, can make us sick. And germs can live, well, anywhere. Inside our bodies, on our hands, on surfaces like desks and floors and toilets. And those germs can get inside our body all sorts of ways. Through our mouth, through our nose, through our eye ducts, through our ears. In fact, often a sore throat is caused by germs being in your eustachian tube in your ears. If you get a cut on your skin, germs can get in there as well.
Oh, yuck.
But the term germ specifically relates to bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa, all four of which can cause diseases.
Now you know.
You know, one of the healthiest things you can do for your body is to drink plenty of water. After all, there's no sugars or fats or chemicals in water. And your body is mostly made up of water. Your brain floats in it. That's why you get a headache if you get dehydrated. So you should drink, well, probably at least 2 of these a day, 4 to 6 glasses a day. Drinking plenty of water is good for you. And actually, I think I have a worksheet that tells us just that.
More worksheet lessons.
This one's actually about water. It says, why do I need water? I have to read out this paragraph first and then answer these questions. It says, my body is made mostly of water. My skin covers me and keeps me from drying out. But every day I lose water, so I must drink 4 to 6 glasses a day. Water does not give me energy, but it helps in many other ways. Most of my blood is water. Water helps to move the food through me. Water helps to move the waste out of my body. And when I am sick, water helps wash the germs out of my body. I can live for weeks without food. I could live only a few days without water. Okay, so remembering all of that, let's look at question 1. What is my body made of mostly? Oh, it says right up here in the first sentence, my body is made mostly of water. What is my body made of mostly? Water. W-A-T-E-R. Question 2 says, how much water should I drink a day? Well, that tells us somewhere down in here. It says, I must drink 4 to 6 glasses a day. So how much water should I drink a day? 4 to 6 glasses. Question 3. What does water not do? That was up here somewhere. It says, water does not give me energy. So the answer for number 3, what does water not do? It does not give me energy. All the other foods we eat help give us energy, but water doesn't. Question number 4. Tell one thing water does. But we learned about lots of different things that water does. It says, most of my blood is water. Water helps to move the food through me. Water helps to move the waste out of my body. And when I'm sick, water helps to wash the germs out of my body. Let's choose one of those. How about, tell me one thing water does? It washes the germs out of my body. Washes the germs out of my body. Let's look at question number 5. How long can I live without water? Oh, that said that right at the very end. I could live only a few days without water. So, how long can I live without water? Only a few days. Water is so important for our body, and that's why you need water. Many viruses and fungi can only last sometimes up to a few hours or a few days, but other germs like E. coli and Salmonella, which can cause you to be quite sick,
I don't feel so good.
can last sometimes for up to weeks, especially on things like clothing and other surfaces that are a bit porous. Cold viruses that give you the common cold can live on hard surfaces for up to a week, although they tend to lose most of their strength after about 24 hours. And Streptococcus can survive for months on hard surfaces.
Come on down, Streptococcus. What have we got for you today?
Germs that are airborne, in other words, they come out of somebody's nose or mouth when they sneeze or cough, might only last in the air for a few hours. But if you think about it, someone coughs or sneezes in a spot, and you happen to walk through that spot even 20 minutes later, there's a good chance that you can breathe in that virus that made them sick, and then you become sick. Hey, one of the great ways to learn how to stop spreading your germs, cough down the front of your shirt. Or sneeze down the front of your shirt. Achoo! We also learn to sneeze in our elbow, but when you do that, make sure you're not sneezing over your elbow.
No, sneeze into your elbow. Sneeze into your elbow, not over it. No, sneeze in.
But really tight into your elbow so you can't really hear it. Never sneeze or cough in your hands. Because then your hands are covered in that germs and you start touching other surfaces that people touch and pick up those germs. So always sneeze deep into your elbow or down the front of your top. Did you know sneezes can travel up to 10 meters? That's like 30 feet. It's a good idea to cover them.
Slow motion moment. Oh, that's just gross.
By the way, coughs spread germs actually worse than sneezes.
Oh, yeah, thanks so much for spreading your germs. Thank you.
Hey guys, Mr. C here, and we're going to talk about washing our hands today using the surgeon's method. Let me show you. So this is called the surgeon's wash. First thing you want to do is you want to use hot water, not the cold. A lot of students, they want to use cold water because they're worried about burning their hands, but hot water or at least warm water. Let's get the hot water going here. Wet your hands first. Plenty of soap. And so, for the surgeon's wash, put hands, soap onto the palms, soap onto the backs of the hands. And then what you want to do is you want to lace your fingers inside. So you're doing this. And then you want to lace your fingers on the backs. So you're doing this. And the other hand, this way. You want to do your wrists. Most people don't get their wrists. You want to get the thumb. Both hands. Again, some rubbing on the palms, some rubbing on the back, just to keep those bubbles up. The more bubbles, the better. And then last one is you're doing your fingertips. So fingertips get scrubbed here. Fingertips scrubbed in the palm here. Some people like to do them at the same time, like that. And put their hands. You're doing it like that. You're getting those fingertips there. Some people will do their fingers individually as well. Got lots and lots of bubbles, round the wrist, round the thumb, interlace on the back, interlace on the front. See how soapy my hands are? Now it's time for rinse, and you really want that soap to stay on for at least 30 seconds. It takes a while for the soap to absorb all of the oils where the germs are. And if you're doing it too fast, it doesn't have a chance to properly absorb those oils. There you go. Rinse them off. Done. And notice, dry my hands with the paper towels, and I've still got the water running, because what I can do is I can use my paper towel to turn my water off. And then my paper towel is going to go in the garbage can. So I know lots of people say throw paper towels into the recycling bin, but you really don't want to do that. Paper towels have germs on them. The best place would be to put them in a compost, but if your compost is eaten by animals, then no. It has germs on it, so garbage can is where it goes. How to wash your hands. Wet your hands, apply soap, rub your hands together, rinse them off well, and towel them dry. Let's see how you can wash your hands.
Washing. First, we turn on the tap. The water starts to fill the sink. It gets higher and higher and higher. Then we get our hands wet. Next, we add some soap. The soap makes bubbles. And more bubbles. And even more bubbles. Now we rinse our hands. Turn off the tap. The water goes down. 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 All the way down the drain. Now we dry our hands. And don't forget to sing happy birthday twice while washing.
You know, I love being surrounded by great books, because one of my favorite things to do is to read stories. So let's make some time right now and read a storybook. This is story time. Hey, John and Ava, you know how we've been learning about staying healthy? And one of the things we've learned about staying healthy is how to breathe in order to relax. And this book that I found is all about breathing and relaxing just before you go to sleep. You guys want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Breath by Breath. Written by Stephanie Waldman and illustrated by Estefania Razzo. And read by Mr. C, the teacher. Okay, Flor and Roberto, Big Brother Louis began. Let's show Mama and Papa we can go to sleep all by ourselves. All ready, said Flor. One more game, begged Roberto. Please, the twins said at the same time. Jinx, Flor and Roberto poked each other. Aha, said Louis. You jinxed each other, which means you can't talk until I say your names. Now, will you cooperate and go to bed? I have a surprise. Flor and Roberto looked at each other, then back at their brother. They nodded slowly. Okay, said Louis in his serious voice. Flor, Roberto, time for bed. When the twins settled down, Louis told them, We're going to have an adventure before we go to sleep. Sounds fun, said Roberto. I love adventures. How? Asked Flor. We're in bed. We're going inside our bodies, said Louis, like deep sea divers. What? the twins asked at the same time. Jinx, they said. Flor, Roberto, we're not jinxing here. We're going to sleep, Louis said. But really, how can we go inside our bodies? Asked Roberto. We follow our breath, said Louis. Start by closing your eyes, Louis told them. Take deep, slow breaths. Imagine you are riding a submarine with a shining light. Dive in from the top of your head. Look around in your brain as you keep breathing slowly. Breathe in and then out. Inhale and exhale. Follow the light down your throat and down into your heart. Hear your heart. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. Pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. Feel the love inside and all around you. I feel it. Me too. Shh. Remember, we are breathing here, not talking, Louis told them. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now, travel to your shoulders. Imagine you have 2 submarines, one at each shoulder. Flor urged Roberto. Your sub should visit me, and my sub will visit you. Shh, Louis continued. Feel your shoulders and back. Slide down your arms to the elbows and down to your wrists. Feel every finger from your pinky to your pointer and your thumb. Give each a gentle jiggle. Return to your chest near your heart. Look around as you breathe, whispered Louis. Feel your lungs get bigger and smaller as you inhale and exhale. Follow the light down to your tummy. Move down the legs and follow the light past your knees. Glide down the front of the leg to the ankle. Don't forget, deep breath in, deep breath out. Now, check out your feet and visit each toe from the pinky toe to the big toe. Inhale. Exhale. Louis paused to breathe deeply, and the sound filled the room. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Come back to your heart, he spoke softly. Thump, 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 thump. Pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat, pit-a-pat. Feel the love inside and all around you. Feel the light warming your whole body. Louis pulled the blanket up to Roberto's chin. Roberto snored a little. Louis patted Flor's back. She smiled and sighed, and he tiptoed toward the door. Sweet dreams, hermanitos. A tip for parents and other caregivers. The yoga body scan, a practice that draws one's attention to parts of the body in order to reconnect with one's physical self, inspired this book. Caregivers might record themselves reading the body scan portion of the book for a child to listen to when they leave the room. Tip for kids. Have someone trace your body on butcher paper or shelf liner. Mark each body part where the submarines travel and trace the journey that Flor and Roberto took. Wow, guys, that was a really good story. And look, at the back of the book, there's a page that shows that we can trace around each other, and then we can do this exercise of pretending we have a submarine that starts at the head, goes down to our heart and our lungs, and up to our shoulders, down our arms and down our legs. Would you guys like to do that on paper? All right, let's do that. Well, hey, John and Ava, we did a really good job of drawing out John on the paper. We've got John's heart here, and just like in the back of the book, we're going to follow along and guide our imaginary submarines all the way through the body. You got your felt markers?
Yeah.
And you got your submarines. Let's dive in down through the head, down to the heart. That's the way. Now let's draw our dotted lines going from the top of the head down to the heart. Good job. Now, let's take our submarines and we'll go to each shoulder and then draw those dotted lines in. We'll go to the shoulder. Good job. Now, let's send our submarines all the way down the arm and all the way to the fingers. And let's draw those dotted lines going down the arm, and we'll draw a dotted line on each finger. Imagine that submarine is going down your arm, and you're relaxing your arms, and you're relaxing each finger. Great job, Ava. And then let's put some dots into each finger as well. Great. All right, let's send our submarines back to the heart. Good job. Do you want to draw your dots going back up to the heart? Just like in the book. Excellent. Let's send our two submarines together just down to the lungs, which is right around here where we breathe in and breathe out. Let's make some dots come down to our lungs. Good job. Let's send our submarines down to our tummy now. Good, and draw some lines coming down to the tummy. Good, you've got your submarines together, but now we're going to split apart again. So come on down lower here to the feet. And let's send each submarine down a leg and all the way to the feet. And sail all the way down there. We're imagining the submarines going through our body and we're relaxing our legs. Let's draw some dotted lines going from that tummy all the way down the legs. And all the way around the feet. Nice job, guys. Did you have fun doing that? All right, thanks so much for helping me out. All right, it's the time in our show when we have a segment I like to call Questionable Letters. And that's where a viewer writes in to ask us something. Let's see what today's letter is going to ask.
Questionable letters.
All right, great, thanks. Okay, we've got another letter from a viewer. This letter asks us the following thing. Dear Mr. C, I know I'm supposed to wash my hands every time before I eat because the germs on my hands might get me sick. I wash my hands because every surface that I touch has germs. But how long do germs live on different surfaces? This letter's from Becky Bacterial. Well, thanks, Becky, for your letter. It's a great question. And it really depends on the type of germs and also the surface. As we know, germs are very, very tiny, tiny creatures. They're also the oldest living creatures on our planet, bacteria, that is for sure. Now, there are about 60,000 different types of germs that we come in contact with every single day, but only about 1 to 2% of those germs can actually be harmful to us.
Wait, that's still like
And
600.
of course, those germs can get into our body and make us sick, although we usually don't know they're going to make us sick until they're already inside our body. So although our skin and many other parts of our body help to protect us from germs, everything from nose hairs to eyelashes to stomach acid, but it's still important that we wash our hands regularly. So different germs can live on surfaces for sometimes only a few hours or sometimes a few days. But here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the germs that can cause the stomach flu
Oh, I still don't feel so good. Oh, what, this guy again?
can live in dirty carpets for up to a whole month?
Yuck, that's gross.
That's why it's so important if you're playing on a carpet area to really make sure you wash your hands afterwards. After all, the carpets usually pick up what's on the bottom of our shoes. I, for one, never wear my shoes inside the house. I always take them off in the garage. You know what? Not just washing your hands and taking a shower is important, but also your teeth need to be brushed. That's also an important step to staying healthy. Going to the dentist about twice a year to have your teeth checked and cleaned, but also at least twice a day, if not 3 times a day, brushing your teeth. This poster here gives us some hints. Brush outside your teeth, brush inside your teeth, brush way in the back, brush the top and the bottom, and brush your tongue.
Hey, let's sing some campfire songs.
Try and brush for as long as you can, because the longer you brush, the cleaner your teeth get, the more plaque and germs come off your mouth. All right, so a long brush is better than a hard brush. Brush softly and gently, but brush for a long time. And do a good thorough job. I'm gonna go and finish brushing my teeth right now. I'm gonna go spit in the sink. After plaque mixes with food, it turns into acid monsters, which can cause cavities. You want to brush that off. Ugh. Dr. Rabbit reminds us to brush our teeth at least twice daily. Dr. Rabbit also tells us to replace our toothbrush regularly, because worn out toothbrushes, they're useless. I change mine about once every 3 months.
More worksheet lessons.
So here we have a worksheet on health. It's called the Dentist Storyboard. And up at the top here it says, dentists help everyone keep their teeth healthy and strong. It is important to brush your teeth at least 2 times a day and use floss. Hey, when was your last checkup? Test your memory by cutting out the drawings and then placing them in the correct order. So we're gonna color these pictures, cut them out. We'll use a glue stick and glue them on some construction paper in the correct order. We've got check teeth, check in, sit in chair, clean teeth, take x-ray, put on bib, rinse with fluoride. All right, I think first job we better do is we better get these colored. Rather than spending a lot of time with you watching me get them colored, let's just snap the fingers and get a colored picture. There we go. Picture's colored. Next job, take some scissors. Let's get them cut out. Okay, I've got all my pieces cut out. Let's grab a piece of construction paper and a glue stick and we'll get them glued on in order. Now, it's always a good idea before you start gluing to set the paper up where you think you might want it so that you know you have enough room for everything. Otherwise, if you glue something into place, you might find you run out of room. Let's start with the title, Dentist Storyboard, up there. When I go to the dentist, one of the very first things I'll end up doing is I'll check in at the dentist office. So that's going to be my first one. The next thing they'll have me do is they'll have me sit in the chair. Then the assistant will put on a bib, and often what they'll want to do first is they'll want to take some x-rays so they can take a look at those x-rays before they start doing anything with my teeth. And they'll usually check the teeth, clean the teeth, and at the very end I get to have some fluoride to rinse around in my mouth and spit out into the little sink. So I'm pretty happy with the order that I've put them in. Now my job is to take my glue stick and glue them all into place. Okay, there we go. I've got my dentist storyboard. Check in, sit in the chair, put on the bib, take an x-ray, check teeth, clean teeth, and rinse with fluoride. Time you're at the dentist, check to see if this is the order that they do it in. Alright, well it looks like I've got plenty of art supplies and tools on hand, so I guess it's time to do some quick art creations.
Quick art creations.
You know, often when we try to picture what germs might actually look like, we often think of the cartoon characters that we see. You know, cute little guys with little faces like these guys. And yeah, they're adorable, but this isn't what germs actually look like. In fact, most of them are fairly dull to look at underneath microscopes. They tend to look more like, well, like this.
Or this, or this, or this, or even this. But no, not like this. Instead, they look like, well, this, and this.
But I think for today's activity, let's stay with the cute cartoon characters, and we'll draw a cartoon of a germ. All right, let's add some color as well. There's my finished germ.
Hello there.
You know, eating healthy, of course, is always important, and you should always try to eat from the 4 basic food groups. Although there's a bit of argument back and forth about which groups maybe we should eat less of and which we should eat more of. Let's take a look at the 4 basic groups. There's dairy products that include things like butter and cheese and milk, ice cream and yogurt. There's meat that cover things like fish, beef, chicken, turkey, and some of the alternatives like beans and eggs, which aren't meats but still fit into that high protein group. There's of course fruits and vegetables, yum, and there's the grains group. Grains consist of things like corn, which I know you'd think is a vegetable, but it's a grain, cereal, bread, rice, an important grain and one that's eaten all over the world by more people than any other kind of grain, and lots of other things that could fit into that grain category. Now, there is a little bit of an argument saying maybe dairy products which contain a lot of fat and in which there's some links to cancer and health problems should be a food that we should either eat very little of or maybe avoid altogether. And some people are lactose intolerant, which means the milk might upset their tummy or the ice cream might upset their tummy. Meat is another category that some people have gone back and forth on. There are people that call themselves vegetarians, which means they just eat vegetables and fruits and grains. They avoid meats. They might eat dairy though. And there are people that call themselves vegans, which means they avoid all dairy, all types of meat, including eggs. All right, and they might even avoid things like honey, basically anything that comes from an animal, whether it be a milk product or a meat product. Some of the arguments for that with meat is that meat has been linked to a number of diseases, causing heart disease, causing some cancers, and there's a big discussion over how our bodies are built. Compared to a meat eater, our bodies are designed more to be vegetarians. For example, vegetarians' jaws go up and down, but also sideways. And our digestive tracts are very long as a vegetarian. Whereas when you look truly at a meat eater, like say a big tiger or a bear, well, their jaws only go up and down. And they have very short digestive tracts. What they eat, they actually poop out pretty quick. It doesn't go through their body over hours and hours and hours like it does for us. So there's some argument saying maybe less meat, maybe less dairy, maybe neither of the two. Stick with fruits and vegetables and grains. Well, you decide. That's up to each individual what they want to eat. And those discussions are, well, maybe for another time. So stick to maybe vegetables and grains. And, well, it's up to each individual to decide whether they want to eat dairy or meat. That's up to you guys. There's another food group that's not shown on here, and that's the sometimes food group, and that's one that we really should avoid. Those are foods that have a lot of fats and a lot of sugars. So think of things like cakes and cupcakes and cookies and, well, ice cream. And, some of them might fit into some of these groups as well, but they usually contain a lot of sugars and a lot of fats. And those can be harmful to our body and to our teeth, and we should avoid them. When we say sometimes foods, we usually mean quite rarely, like maybe it's a birthday treat or a special dinner. Not something where you should have 4 or 5 of them in your lunch kit. Snacks that you'd have every single day, that's not sometimes, that's often. And we should avoid those foods. Eat healthy.
More worksheet lessons.
The instructions say, cut and paste or draw foods in the correct food groups. Well, we have some foods down here at the bottom that we'll be able to cut out and glue in to the correct food groups. There's 4 food groups: milk products, bread and cereals, fruit and vegetables, and meat. Let's start off with coloring the pictures first. Okay, let's use our scissors and cut these pictures out. Notice there's a dotted line right across, so I'll cut straight through that. That'll make the bottom of our page here nice and neat and tidy. Okay, we've got all our pictures cut out. Now let's use our glue and put them in the right spot. First one says milk products. Well, milk products consist of milk. I'll put our picture of milk right in there. And also other dairy products like cheese. Cheese, yogurt, ice cream. Those are all milk products or dairy products. So we've got our milk and our cheese in there. Next one says bread and cereals. Now we've got a picture of muffins. That's a bread. And we've got a picture of buns, hot dog buns, hamburger buns, toast, cereal. Sometimes we call those grains, and that can also include things like rice and even pasta. Macaroni and cheese and spaghetti could even fit in this category. Next group we've got down here says fruit and vegetables. Well, an apple, of course, is fruit. And a carrot, of course, is a vegetable. The last group we have says meat. We've got a picture of a chicken leg here. And we've got a picture of fish. Both chicken and fish are meat. Of course, so is beef, pork, hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, bacon. All of that would be in the meat category. Well, there's our completed worksheet of 4 food groups: milk products, bread and cereal, fruit and vegetables, and meat. Hey, you know what? Another way to stay healthy is to make sure you get plenty of exercise. Your heart is a really strong pump. And when you give it lots of active play, it gets stronger and stronger. And when your heart is stronger, well, it makes active play even easier. Now, your heart needs active play, but it does also need rest. And so if you don't get enough rest, well, your heart won't feel like all that active play, which can be a lot of fun.
Oh man, that kid snores loudly.
And many kinds of play will keep your heart healthy and active. And if you follow these simple suggestions, your heart will get the active play and exercise that it needs to get stronger. 1. Play at things that are fun. 2. Do some kind of activity play for at least 30 minutes every day. And do activities that make your body feel warmer and make you breathe harder. That way you know you're actually working hard. And try to play at activities that use many different muscle groups. Your arm muscles, your leg muscles, your back, your stomach area. All the different muscles in your body should be tried to be used. And although you should try and play for at least 30 minutes a day, you should also try and play for at least 15 minutes non-stop without a rest. And that way you know you're really building up that strength in your heart. Active play can also be called aerobic exercise because your heart and your body need oxygen to work. Here's just a few suggestions of things that you could do for active play. Try swimming or inline skating, walking a dog or riding a bike, running, rope jumping, or playing floor hockey, dancing, doing cross-country skiing, ice skating, basketball, soccer, tennis, field hockey, volleyball, canoeing or kayaking, ringette, hopscotch, snowshoeing, rowing, ice hockey, or roller skating, and lots of other different kinds of sports and activities. Thump, 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 thump. Oh, hey. You know, while getting plenty of exercise to get your heart beating fast and beating strong is important, it's also important to get plenty of rest and relaxation. Relaxing helps reduce the stress that the body can feel. In fact, we know stress can actually make people sick. So spend some time also doing some quiet activities. Maybe sitting quietly and reading a book. Or sitting quietly and listening to music. Quiet activities mean sitting calmly. Some people like to do exercises that are slow and calm, like yoga.
Or like Tai Chi.
Or some people just like to do breathing exercises. We've got some to show you. I even actually experienced once a chance to do some healing bowls when I was in Nepal, They have these healing bowls. I'll show you what they look like. This is a healing bowl, or sometimes known as a singing bowl. And the idea is you can move the stick around it and it'll make a humming sound from its vibrations. And one can relax or meditate to this sound. The vibrations are also supposed to produce healing effects. The other option is just to hit it. These are very popular in places like Tibet and Nepal. I picked up mine while I was in Kathmandu. It's made out of 7 different metals, and I even had a doctor use one of these to help the vibrations relax my body and make my muscles feel better. Oh, wow. There's a belief in something called the chakras, and you've got 7 chakras that need relaxing and de-stressing. Cool. It's also important, of course, to get plenty of sleep.
Oh man, is that kid still snoring?
And in fact, school-age kids, age 6 to 13, should be getting between 9 to 12 hours of sleep. That means a regular bedtime would probably be around 8 o'clock, That means a regular bedtime would probably be around 8 o'clock. So you're getting lots and lots of sleep. About 9 to 12 hours is what's needed for your body.
Oh really? Enough with the snoring kid already.
You know, staying healthy doesn't just involve the things that you should do, like getting exercise and washing your hands and eating good food, getting rest, but it also involves the things that you should avoid. Smoking, for one, is a thing that you should avoid. Most young people are choosing not to smoke, and many smokers are choosing to quit. I mean, most people know that smoking does cause lung cancer, which can be deadly. But did you know it can also seriously harm the heart and the blood vessels in your body? When tobacco smoke gets into somebody's lungs, either from smoking themselves or from somebody else who smokes and breathes that smoke out, and then you breathe it in, that's called secondhand smoke, when you breathe in the smoke from a smoker.
Pew!
Well, that tobacco smoke carries things like nicotine and tar, which can really harm your lungs. In fact, there's a mixture of over 4,000 different chemicals found in tobacco smoke, and at least 60 of them we know of causes harm. And not just harm, but cancer. In fact, let's take a look at just some of those chemicals that are found in cigarettes on this poster called Sucked In.
Sucked in.
Here's what's hiding in cigarettes. Inside a cigarette, there's toluene. Toluene is highly toxic. It's commonly used as an ingredient in paint thinner. Ugh. There's propylene glycol. The tobacco industry claims that it's added to help stop the tobacco from drying out. It's also used in de-icer. There's benzoaprine. You'll find it in coal tar and in cigarette smoke, and it's one of the most potent cancer-causing chemicals in the entire world.
Ew.
You'll find phenol in cigarettes. Phenol is a chemical used in disinfectants to clean germs, the kind you might use to, say, clean a laboratory.
Oh, I don't want to put that in my mouth.
There's arsenic in cigarettes. Yeah, you heard it. Arsenic, that's a deadly poison. This deadly poison makes your lips burn and your breath turn bad. Blah, cigarette breath.
You stink.
Smoker's breath, gross. There's butane. Hey, that's used in cigarette lighters. It's highly flammable, and butane is one of the key components used in gasoline. You put that in your car. Why would you put that in your body? There's acetone. It's one of the active ingredients used in nail polish remover. It's quite a strong chemical. There's cadmium. Cadmium causes damage to your liver, your kidneys, and your brain, and it stays in the body for years. Ugh. It's used, by the way, in batteries.
Battery is my favorite.
Oh, what a moron.
There's lead, and we've been trying to avoid lead poisoning for years now. But lead poisoning stunts your growth, and it makes you vomit, and it damages your brain. You use lead in things like car batteries. There's ammonia in cigarettes. Scientists have discovered that ammonia helps you absorb more nicotine. That makes you more addictive to wanting more cigarettes. It keeps you hooked on smoking. And ammonia is often used in things like glass cleaners. There's also formaldehyde in cigarettes. Formaldehyde, we know for sure, causes cancer. It can damage your skin, your lungs, the whole digestive system where you're trying to eat food and digest it. In fact, embalmers use it to preserve dead bodies. Ugh.
Ew.
Last, there's also benzene in cigarettes. That's found in pesticides to kill bugs
I'll say what?
and in gasoline. Again, you want to put something in your body that's used for killing bugs and filling up your car?
Oh no, the goner!
The smoke created by tobacco carries carbon monoxide. And when you breathe in carbon monoxide, it causes less oxygen to get into the body. So next time you think about smoking or you're around somebody who's smoking, maybe back away and try and stay healthier. Well, this is all the time we have for this week's episode.
Not good.
I gotta get checked out by my doctors. We'll see you next time.
Say Mr. C. This is just gonna hurt a little bit.
Oh.
Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you learned something new and had fun doing the lessons. Join me next time on another episode of Lessons from the Classroom.